Hello and welcome to another episode of DH Newsroom. The second phase of polling is on April 26. This is for 88 seats. Today we'll be focusing on the Hindi heartland states. Rajasthan, 13 seats are going to the polls. In Uttar Pradesh, 8. Madhya Pradesh, 7. Bihar, you have 5. And these are the main ones we'll be focusing on. To discuss this with me, I have my colleague Sumit Pande. Sumit has travelled to a few constituencies. He will be giving us his take on that. And Viju Cherian. What is your general feel from your visits to the field? What is your feedback?
I primarily have travelled in Western UP as of now. So, this election is different from 2019 in the sense that when in 2019 we had an RLD, BSP and Samajwadi Party alliance. So it was a completely bipolar election. So this time around BSP is a contender. They have fielded candidates and tactfully. In some places they are damaging the Samajwadi Party, Congress alliance, in some places the BJP. On the other hand,
just let me get this straight. BSP, till the elections were announced, it was seen that Mayawati was nowhere in the scene. She was seen to be off it, but now you're saying that she's actually playing an important role in this one.
See, in first past the post system in multi-party politics, it is the importance of a political party is not just confined to whether one wins or not. It can also determine by placing a candidate or a specific candidate, it can determine the outcome of the elections, whether it goes to A or B, which may not be that political party itself. So BSP's candidate selection may impact the outcome of the elections in favor of BJP or the Samajwadi Party.
The BSP candidate might cut votes.
Yeah. Okay. For instance, in Udham Singh, in Gautam Budh Nagar, which is a Noida constituency, BSP has fielded a Rajput candidate. Now, Noida, Ghaziabad belt has a substantial Rajput voters, and there have been issues about the community which have been very clearly held by the leaders. There have been panchayats held by the community leaders in these constituencies. Now, one of the top, lead faces of the community, General VK Singh, has been denied ticket in Ghaziabad. Now, BSP has fielded a Rajput candidate in Gautam Budh Nagar. Okay. And Samajwadi Party has fielded a Gujar candidate, which is a backward community, which is in substantial and large numbers in rural areas in this particular belt. Now, if the Rajput, if there is a section in the Rajput which is not favorably inclined towards the BJP, if they have a candidate from their specific community, then that may vote, rather than going to the Samajwadi Party, that may go to the BSP candidate also. That undercuts the Samajwadi Party. So, which is why I'm saying, so these are very, complicated calculations which are put into place by political parties when they are deciding candidates. In that context, I think BSP as a party, because it certainly has a base, it may have been reduced to 12 to 13% in the last elections. It has its impact.
Okay. Let me give a couple of more numbers. Last year, 2019, of the 87 seats that had then gone to the polls, BJP had contested in 67 of them, of which 52 they won. That's more than 70% of a win rate. This time also it's equally important. There's a lot of apprehension about a lower voter turnout. Do you see that affecting either of the party, or is it just going to affect everyone alike? What is your take on this? I know it's too early to...
Yeah, it's too early to say. We'll have to see what the final voter turnout is in the second phase of polling. But we've seen that there has been a very significant drop in the voter turnout in the first phase in the Hindi heartland state in particular, and that extends from Bihar to Uttar Pradesh to Uttarakhand, to some extent even in Rajasthan we have seen that there is a drop in the voter turnout, but not as significant as in these UP, Bihar and Uttarakhand. Now there seems to be, the anecdotal evidence suggests there seems to be a general ennui or boredom regarding the elections.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, what is causing that boredom? Is it because of the overdose of the electoral politics or hype in the elections that we have seen over the last 10 years, when from mayor elections to loksabha elections, every elections is being contested at a very high voltage, high pitch.
An election fatigue.
And in this fatigue, which are the voters which are not turning up on the polling booth? then obviously there is this heat in the.
Of course, the summer has been.
So I think it's a little too early. We'll have to wait and watch at least till the third phase of polling to get a sense of what's happening.
Talking about some of the heat, let's go to Rajasthan. 13 seats go. First phase 12 is there. With this, the elections in Rajasthan come to an end. 13 seats. What is the overall picture and the profile of it, and how does it go? BJP did extremely well last time.
Last two elections, they have completely swept the elections. Last time around, they just, one seat now. Then again, Hanuman Beniwal was supported by the BJP. This time around, he is being supported by the Congress. So, first phase of, but I see that most of the reportage from Rajasthan now clearly says, across the spectrum, that it may not be a clean slate for the BJP. BJP may not end up, getting all the seats.
Okay.
A lot of media reports have been saying that. But the other aspect is that, BJP, the last time around, I don't exactly remember the numbers, but out of 300 odd seats, the winning margin for BJP for more than 100 seats, I think close to 150, was 3 lakh votes or more.
That's a huge margin.
Yeah. And the 2 lakh votes or more was more than 200 seats. Okay. I think it was close to 240, 250 seats or 2 lakh more. Now that's a huge margin. To overcome that margin, the opposition will have to get a substantial number of voters. It's not only the low voter turnout or the apathy or the boredom or the ennui which may turn the tables. It is also whether they are able to win over a section of that voters which voted for the BJP towards them. I think that's going to be very, very critical, because these are very huge margins we're talking about 2019.
Let's talk about a couple of constituencies in UP, especially Meerut. What do you make about the contest that's happening in Meerut?
Meerut, I think BJP dropping the sitting MP
Rajendra
Agarwal, who won by a very slender margin the last time around. I think fielding Arun Govil in Western UP in a Muslim-dominated or concentrated constituency in a year when the Ram Temple has been consecrated in Ayodhya, I think there was a political messaging around it. But then at the same point in time...
For our viewers who do not know this, Arun Govil was the person who portrayed Lord Ram in
Ramanand
Sagar's Ramayana series. Yeah. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so there was a certain intent to have a political messaging around that. But at the same point in time, Samajwadi Party this time around has, and nor I think has the BSP, if I'm not wrong, there is no Muslim candidate as such.
Okay.
And BSP and Samajwadi Party, and to an extent Congress, which over the years have indulged in competitive minority politics, have realized the flip side or the downside of getting into one. So
the diminishing returns.
And even in adjoining constituency like Moradabad, which has over 45% Muslim vote, Samajwadi Party is given a ticket to a Hindu candidate. So that intent to neutralize that messaging or polarization is there. Contesting elections is it's a very complex sort of a thing. It requires a whole lot of machinery, a system working for you. So Meerut, I think for me is a very interesting constituency to watch out for. Whether BJP is able to pull through in Meerut or not it would indicate to us, how the elections would travel from here, from west to east.
One more constituency, Ghaziabad. You made a mention of it that VK Singh, the sitting MP, has not been fielded again. This has been a high-profile seat in the sense VK Singh is holding it currently. Earlier this it was Rajnath Singh. What do you make of this time?
Margin again in Ghaziabad was 5 lakh votes for the BJP.
Yes, it was huge. So.
Yeah, it was huge. So again, for the seat to flip, you need more than 2.5 lakh votes to cross over from the other side.
And it's not like the BJP has brought in a greenhorn or someone who's unknown. Atul Garg is the local leader, MLA.
Yeah, which is why I'm saying there are issues, but even in the worst of times, they have retained Ghaziabad. in the past. So for BJP, Ghaziabad, I mean, the equations has changed, the candidates has changed, but again, there would be a contest. But does the opposition have enough to
upset the balance?
Upset the balance, and the deficit that deficit has to be managed somehow. 5 lakh votes is a huge margin.
So without saying much of it, it's difficult to upset the BJP at the moment, and you don't see such a undercurrent or a upswing in the opposition's
this
campaign.
Is one of the strongest phases for the BJP. They won 7 out of 8 seats the last time around, which is why I'm saying it is the marginal seats, I mean, which BJP won or lost by 5,000, 4,000, 10,000, 20,000 votes, which would matter. I mean, these are the seats that we have to focus on. How BJP does in these seats. If BJP is winning a seat by 7 lakh votes, then I mean, to create an upset in that seat would require a lot. And every constituency has its own character also, demographic. I mean, Noida for one is a seat which has a urban middle class population, which is a traditional BJP voter. So these are the various factors one has to look at.
Okay, before we conclude this video, I have to ask you about this one. What do you make about the evolving political discourse that we are seeing at the moment? The second phase is now on. We've got 5 more to go. What do you make about it?
See, increasingly when you have 7, 8 phase elections spread over 2 months, 2.5 months, 10 weeks, then based on the sort of feedback mechanism which has evolved, been evolved by the political parties through various agencies, then the leaders and the parties tend to tweak and change their messaging around the elections. So that's precisely what we are seeing. In the first phase of polling, we see BJP taking a more strident position on issues like Muslim reservations. Then Prime Minister has been very, very, I mean, he's been very critical of not just the Congress party, but he's targeted the Gandhi families. At the same point in time, Congress has, seems to have evolved a narrative despite being at sea for a very long time.
That is what my follow-on question was to be. BJP seems to be adapting based on its feedback mechanism. Do you see the Congress or any other party in the opposition space evolving according to the changing...
See, if the party feels that this is a narrative which is working for it, why would they change it? Okay, so...
That's one way of looking at it.
Yeah, if the Congress thinks that, if the guarantees which they are speaking about, or the social justice or reservations or caste census, if they think that this is working fine on the ground, they would continue with it. If they think that it's not working, they would probably change the tone and the tenor of the campaign. So I think it's going to happen over a period of time, and it also depends on the area which you're going to, which is going to the polls. I mean, messaging for Odisha will be entirely different from messaging for Telangana.
Just to conclude, BJP is setting the agenda and the Congress and the opposition is reacting to it, or has the Congress and the opposition able to set an agenda and the BJP react to it?
But
do you see? I think most of it is in the first one. The BJP is the one that's setting the agenda. Congress is actually reacting to it. That's what's been happening on the reservation, the inheritance, all the discussion over there.
I think that has happened after the first phase.
After the first, yes.
But before the first phase, I think it was Congress which was very, consistent on social justice, constitution change theme, which they were underscoring. BJP has, after the first phase, made a certain change in the tone, tenor, and content of their campaign. The 370 plus, 400 plus tagline, we see now being more replaced by Fir Ek Baar Modi Sarkar campaign. Congress is continuing as of now with what they had set out, say a month and a half back, and I think they are reacting and responding to it. But at the same point in time, they are also a little wary of the comments, if say Sampath comments on the inherent text.
Sure. Thank you very much, Sumit, for your views. I hope this was an informed discussion for all our readers and viewers. For more political updates, election news, and everything related to news, stay tuned to DeccanHerald.com, and do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.